Hey guys, and welcome to a video highlighting 5 noob mistakes I see people make time and time again, and it's going to be absolutely destroying their win rate. So I thought I'd highlight them so you can avoid them and try to fix them in your own playstyle. So number 1 is bringing too much range units. This happens so much, particularly with Grand Cafe. Now, this is both vital in domination mode and land battles, but I found it even more of a problem in domination mode. So if a nice little look here at the Grand Cafe opponent of mine, this was a game on ranked matchmaking. He has quite a powerful range core. We have Jade Warrior crossbow and Peasant Archers in the middle. We in fact have 3 units of range in the center, double cannon in the back, plus 2 Wujing compasses who cannot protect themselves, and a Lord Magistrate who cannot protect himself. And all we have to block the path is a couple of Jade Warriors and Peasant Longspearmen. Now, I'm assuming you can see how this is going to go. I think this is a problem a lot of people have once they've come over from campaign, where ranged troops are so dominant, and you can really trick the computer for attacking your single entities, attacking your one lone unit in the front, and your range can bring the pain. But if you're up against a tournament player, or in fact any player realistically, they're going to be looking to push into the back line and overwhelm your troops. And here we have a load of light war sleds. My opponent has no cavalry to counter this. Up against Kizzo, of course, is going to be quite problematic, and we simply bomb rush through and delete all his range core. Now, you may say, hey, I may be able to destroy these chariots that have harassed my back line, but then you've lost your only real damage dealers and your punch to this build. Not only that, it also collapses your entire formation, making it worse as a whole. Swordsmen are going to have to pull back and defend up against the light war sleds, and all of a sudden the front line is significantly weaker than it was before. Many players did this over the course of Total Warhammer 2 and has followed through to Warhammer 3. Now, as a newer player, if you are watching this, I would recommend having at least 4 units to every range unit, just so you can ensure you can guard them successfully, or 3 units that make some of them cavalry, fast, heavy hitters, or people with big mass to stop chariots like this simply rearing through the back line. We've shut down 2 cannons here, all the archers are in pretty much disarray or forced back, and the front line is an absolute mess. So please don't bring too many range units to the party. It often does not work out. Now, more experienced players can get away with it, of course. You can go mass range, mass kite, and so on, but for newer players, stop bringing so much range. Mistake number 2, which I see time and time again, is players getting tunnel vision. I'm not just talking about objectives, it also comes into effect with people desperately trying to snipe key targets, jump in the back line, or assassinate an enemy lord, and they will give up 90% of their army just to achieve that one dreaded goal, and it is a big mistake. I made one earlier in this battle where I was looking to assassinate the enemy lord. I did so much at him, including my general, and what happens? I end up losing my general and put myself in a really bad spot. My opponent is making the same mistake here and this example. His entire army is flooding towards objective 1. This is really crucial. It's a big win condition for him right now. He's behind on tickets and he knows he needs to claim this, but what has he done by tunnel visioning on one lone objective? He's completely abandoned his back objective, and I, as a sneaky duck, am going to be doing a cheeky back cap. If my opponent just had 1 unit left here, or 1 unit in the middle, or if he wasn't so focused on this fight on objective 1, he might have been able to send some reinforcements over there and stop me capping objective 3. So tunnel vision, assassinating enemy lords at all costs. You see them on low health and you just chuck everything at them, not weighing up the consequences. You need to be patient, and you need to have a good battlefield awareness. The best players will know what's going on around the battlefield 90% of the time. Every few seconds, I would recommend every 10 seconds or so, have a very brief look around at all your units and see what they're doing. Don't focus on one big blob fight. Yes, it may mean you slip up once or twice in micro engagements in the front line, but it stops you overall making gigantic mistakes which your opponent can capitalize on, and it can force you to lose the game. So every now and again, just take a little overview, have a little look at your units. You can see the idle icons which have been implemented into game 3, which is a big improvement on game 2 there, and have a little look to make sure they are doing what they should be doing, otherwise it could cost you the game. Mistake number 3 is a lack of infantry, particularly now with the added larger armies at the start of domination games. People do actually not bring as much infantry as you'd expect. Now, in a domination mode where you have to capture flags and bounce around the map, of course you think, hey, I need flyers to be nice and swift to get onto these objectives. I need cavalry as well, because once more, it is swift and I can get to these battlefield points really quickly. The problem with that is infantry has a much better capture weight than anything else in the game. but having lots of infantry in your army certainly will put you in a massive state of advantage in domination mode. Now, this only really goes over to domination. Land battles, you can go full cav, and it certainly can work, and that can work in domination as well. But having no infantry does mean you're going to get overwhelmed and not be able to capture objectives. This also goes for people not bringing anti-infantry units. Because infantry is so crucial in domination mode, you need units which can really chew through chaff of enemy. And here in this example, I have a load of Forsaken in the front line. We've decimated the enemy infantry, and now I'm in a prime position to start to capture this middle objective once it does become active. My opponent is pushing in with some exalted demonettes or some basic demonettes here. The rest of his infantry is gone. It doesn't matter if he has more elite troops than I do on the battlefield, because I will be the one who will be capping the objective. So infantry, it's very, very important in domination. Definitely bring more of it, and at the same time bring anti-infantry tools, because that is the main way players are going to be capping and decapping objectives. Mistake number 4 is triple capping in domination too early. Now, triple capping is an absolutely fine tactic to overwhelm your enemy and apply a lot of pressure to them, but you do not want to do this too early. Why do you not want to do this too early? Well, if we take a look up here at the supplies, there is a losing compensation. When you're behind by a certain amount, I believe it's by 1,000 tickets and then 2,000 tickets, you will gain a bonus on your base income. This is incredibly important because it will allow you to field larger and larger armies. So what my opponent's doing here is just holding 2 objectives at the moment and not getting objective 3. That is absolutely fine, because you will still be getting more tickets and your opponent won't really be getting many more reinforcements whatsoever. A few players do attempt to sit right at the back and not engage any of the objectives at the start to make the most out of this losing compensation. There is some very easy tactics to master to overwhelm these type of players. If you notice your opponent has sat at the back of the map, simply cap 1 objective point and just 1. You'll be receiving pretty much the same funds for a very large portion of the battlefield, and even by the time your opponent is getting a bit of comeback bonus, you will have your entire army on the field anyway, plus having some more objectives in your back pocket, making it almost impossible for your enemy to do a decent comeback. Now, in the mid-game, it is certainly a viable option to triple cap your opponent, and at this point in the game for me, I'm so far behind ticket-wise, I need to triple cap, so I'm going to be applying pressure to a lot of the objectives, and it's absolutely fine because my opponent won't be receiving that losing compensation until I'm way ahead of him and basically already winning the game. So triple capping, do it, just don't do it at the very start of the battle, and if your opponent is refusing to capture any objectives, just hold 1 more objective than they hold themselves, and that will allow you to get a large portion of your army out, making it almost impossible for your opponent to wrestle those objectives off you. The last noob mistake I see time and time again is the feeling that you always need to attack. I must be always moving forward, attacking, destroying the enemy at all times. I cannot sit back. This is a game of risk, and I must push forward and fight and slay my enemies. And that is actually a big mistake. You do not always need to be super aggressive getting towards the enemy. You can be patient and buy your time. Now, this game here has been going on for a little while. I'm in a really dominant position. I own 2 of the objectives, and I push my opponent all the way back to his spawn. So what do? I charge my lord in, thinking, hey, I need to get aggressive. I need to take down my enemy general. And at best, I was going to get a trade there where I'm able to kill the enemy general and my general dies as well. Likewise, all my infantry, it is charging headlong in to enemy engagements, which aren't really favorable for me because I'm right outside my opponent's spawn, and he's going to be bringing a load of long-range firepower to decimate my ground forces, as well as flamers and other such units. I have the advantage here. I've done a lot more damage than my opponent at the start of the battle. I have added tickets. I can fall back, take a breather, and judge the situation. There is no point chucking units into fights they cannot win. If I am moving a unit of Forsaken up against a unit of Tsar Guard, the Forsaken are 1,000% going to lose every single time. So why do it? Simply pull back, retreat, outflank your opponent, wait for reinforcements. You can play slightly passive and take a bit of a breather during the game. You don't have to be pedal to the metal right on their throats the entire battle. It will cost you if you force your units into really bad engagements time and time again. Look at this, Blue Horrors up against Knights. They're not going to be able to do anything there. They shouldn't be isolated and alone fighting on their own there. They need to wait for more reinforcements, and we fight as a unit. We are much stronger together than we are fighting alone, and you can see how quickly the turns change there. I was overwhelming my opponent's infantry. All of a sudden, I get into a load of bad engagements. due to this want and need to get aggressive, move forward, and overwhelm your enemy forces, and it could cost me the battle. So those are my 5 top noob mistakes that I see a lot of new players make. Don't worry, you're not alone. Everyone makes them. I make them as well. I've seen experienced tournament players, particularly the tunnel vision one, catches a lot of people off guard. These are a few tips and tricks, as well as kind of just noticing the mistakes that you guys do. Just have them in the back of your mind and try and think about them next time you do delve into the battlefield. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little different to the battle reports I normally do, but if you'd like to see more tips and tricks, more hints and helping videos, and more kind of points like this of 5 new mistakes and so on, let me know in the comment section down below. Feel free to give the video a cheeky little like and subscribe. Both things help out the great duck invasion of the human realms, and there's a load of links in the description to Twitch, Patreon, and Discord. Until next time, guys, peace, and as always, stay awesome.